Hi friends, welcome to your Total Body on the Mat class. Today we'll be using a Pilates ball and a set of hand weights. Now you can use a set of 1s, 2s, or 3-pound hand weights or whatever you have available, soup cans, soda cans, whatever is home with you. Now if you don't have a ball, you can use a squishy like volleyball type ball. Basketball might be too intense. One of the like playground style balls that you find in the big bins at the grocery store, those work fantastic. Of course, you'll need a mat as well. All your props to the side for our warm up. Start laying down. So in your bridge-like posture. So feet, heels, sit bones in the same line, knees roughly over the ankles or slightly behind the ankles. Relax the upper body on the floor below you. And now start by taking your hands towards the ceiling, floating over your shoulders. Hold there, palms face in towards your midline, and then start to let your arms come towards your ears. They do not have to tap the floor. Keeping the core engaged here. Now scoop the hands back up towards the ceiling. So coming away from the ceiling towards the sides of your head and then come back up to the ceiling. So the rest of the body is frozen here, just warming up the shoulders a little. Come back to the ceiling one more time. Arms go away. Arms come back to the ceiling. Hold here at the ceiling. So hand roughly over shoulder and then float your shoulders away from the floor. So almost like you're heaving your chest in, you're rounding your upper back, and then allow the shoulder blades to come back to the ground below you. So they're hugging the floor. So you reach towards the ceiling, hug the shoulder blades back to the floor. Just warming up the shoulder in a different direction. 2 more at your own pace. 1 more. Relax the shoulders back onto the floor. Give them a little wiggle if you need to. All right, lower body. Start to peel the tailbone, the lower back, the mid back, coming up into your bridge. Now your bridge height, roughly tank top line, shoulder blade line. That's your stopping point. So not crazy high, right? Core is engaged. And now melt into the floor below you, bone by bone. Take a few at your own pace here. Rolling, rocking through the spine. You peel away from the floor. You melt back into the floor. Really using the abdominals to move the vertebrae. Good, and then melt, 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 melt. In your next one, as you bring the arms to the floor, start to lift the hips. Yeah, so a little seesaw opposite movement. So as the hips lower, the arms lift. Good. Take them at your own pace. Now, if it's too distracting to do both, pick one. Good. 1 more. Good. And then melt, melt, melt. Relax the arms by your side. You can hug, you can stretch opposite directions. Do what feels best for you. Rock yourself to seated. We go into planks. Grab your ball. 5 runs away. All right, ball is going mid-thigh, and you know that you are more than welcome to stay here in your tabletop plank with the ball mid-thigh. So starting with hand under shoulder, knee under hip, and then hover your knees. So you're in a bear plank with the ball. We hold for 4. 3, hips, shoulders roughly same height. 2, and then come back to the floor. Good. That is your go-to spot if you need to. Next one, we build upon the bear hold that we started in. Excellent. And now take the tiniest steps out to lengthen your legs. Tiny steps in. Beautiful. Again. Your goal is to not drop the ball. Keep going. And in. Hips, shoulders roughly same height. 2 more laps. And out. Here's my final lap. Is it your final lap as well? Once the knees are under the hips, hold for 4, 3, 2, gently lower. Give the hands a little shake, shake, shake. Come down to the forearms. Now we are all on the forearms. You can do knees or toes, up to you. Keep hips and shoulders roughly the same height. Yes, I still have the ball. We do hip dips. So one side, it's going to be smaller than if you don't have the ball. So you lift up and over to the side, scoop, side, scoop, side, scoop. So you might have to adjust where your knees are in relationship. Send them further, send them closer to find what works best for you to do your hip dip, center, hip dip, center. It's not about distance. It is the control. That's right. It's so small right now because I'm keeping both legs grounded. Now you can do knees or toes. And you draw like a little rainbow shape. Up and over. Focusing on coming back to center each time. And if the ball runs away, don't worry about it. One more each side. Beautiful. Center. Child's pose. Send the hips back, long arms. Keep the ball. And find your hand weights. I'm going to drop down to 2 pounds. These are 6. I don't need 6. We do C-curl abs with the ball behind us today. So the ball is going behind your lower back, your pant line area. And now wedge it there. Sometimes the squishy ball doesn't agree. So it's a little wedge right now. We make it a bigger wedge by drawing the abs in, pressing into the ball so that you are in a C shape, a scooped shape here. Shoulders can relax. You're drawing the abs in towards the ball, one hand weight on each side of the body so you can easily grab it when the time comes. Now the ball, it is supporting you, but it's also creating an unstable environment. Hands behind hamstrings if you need the extra balance. You know you're welcome to ditch the weights at any point if you need to. Feet relaxed, knees bent. Cat is attacking the paper towel roll again. Float your arms in front of you, no hand weights for the moment. Just drawing your abs in and then tiny release. So imagine you're pulling your belly button in away from your pant line and then a little release, but we're not coming all the way and popping our core, no. So it's control in, little release. Draw it in. So our abs are always in and up, but you're making it even more. Pull your abs in, reach for the ball behind you, press with the core for 4, 3, 2, hold for 4, 3, 2. Can you float and pick up your 2 hand weights? Palms face in, hammer curls, while the abs remain frozen. We're not bouncing on the ball. Now, the higher the elbow, the more shoulder work you'll get. So if you need less, bring the elbows low. Straight wrist, but you curl without anything else moving. Good. Keep the core in and up. Still breathing. And you have 4 more curls. 3, 2, 1 more. Pick a height that you and your elbows and your upper arms can stay. Give me bicep pulse. In an inch. In an inch. Now remember the ab movement we were doing not too long ago with drawing them in deeper. Can you do the same thing? While you do the bicep pulse to draw the abs in deeper. Deeper. Beautiful. You're doing great. You're here for 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Elbows by your side for a serve the platter. So you reach the arms forward, roughly the same height as your shoulder with soft elbows, and then bring it back in. Keep the core the same the entire time. On the in motion, arms stop roughly by your own side. You reach roughly to shoulder height. Bring it in. Now each time you reach the arms forward, can you draw the abs in deeper? Think the opposite motions here. And then resist in. So we're not letting gravity win. Go ahead, keep reaching. Chin is off your chest. You have 4, 3, 2. In your next one, can you hold the reach and do tiny reach? And if you guessed it, yes, the core, little engagement in closer to the ball for 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Gently bring it in. Now you can use 1 or 2 hand weights for this next part. If you need to reset, you're more than welcome to fix the ball, reset, 1 or 2 hand weights. I'm switching to 2 pounds only. I twist to the side, coming back to center. Twist the other way, back to center. So twisting at the waistline. Sit bones are grounded, legs aren't flopping side to side. So it is a small control. Let your face, your nose, follow your hand weight. Now, if you need to ditch your hand weight, you can hold both your hands at center and do the same movement. But you twist, engage back to center. Twist, engage back to center. Twist. Still remaining in the scooped C-shape position here. For 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Find center, round forward, put your hand weights to the side, somewhere that you're not going to kick them. You get to lay down for some side leg. All right, now I have a wall at the back edge of my mat. You're welcome to do similar or scoot away from the wall, but your spine, your back of you is at the back of your mat. So create a nice long spine, crown of the head to tailbone. Now bring both your feet towards the front corner of your mat for our side leg work. The ball, you can keep it nearby or you can ditch it. Our head, neck, and shoulders are relaxed, whether you're doing an arm pillow or a little head cradle. If this doesn't feel good, come down to the arm pillow. And it can be a straight arm or a bent arm. Now, bottom knee, relax. Your top leg is your working leg. Right now, this is my right side, so if you want to do right as well, you're welcome to. Waist, engage it away from the floor below you. Now, hover your top leg roughly your own hip height. Tension-free foot, tension-free knee, and then making sure your knee doesn't drop to the floor or aim at the ceiling. Parallel leg to the ground below you. Keep lifting your core, reach your femur away from your hip socket. Notice how your hips just stacked. So even length through both sides of your waist, and then small pulse up an inch, up an inch. Initiate the movement here, femur and hip socket. So not our ankle doing a dance. Up an inch, small controlled. We are targeting glute, thigh, more specifically outer glute and outer thigh. Will you get some additional center glute, quad, hamstring? Of course you will. Don't you worry. Lift and lower for 4, 3, 2, hold, draw the smallest circle with your entire leg, so not your toes, not your ankle, entire leg, femur and hip socket. Now my top arm, I've done a little kickstand to help balance. If you are uncertain, if your hips are wiggling, if your core, your hips are rocking side to side, hand to hip, you circle 4, 3, 2, reverse your circle. The entire leg controls the circle. And your circle, somewhere between a baseball and a softball size, so it's not big, right? If you're drawing a square, it's okay. Circle for 4, 3, 2, hold here. Can you flex your foot? So flex your foot without over gripping or stressing the toes. So just reach through your heel with a flat foot. You lift up an inch, up 1 more inch. Now lower, back to your original spot. Good. So you lift for 3, 2, 1, and lower. Lift 3, 2, 1, and lower. Lift 3, 2, 1, and lower. Lift 3, 2, 1. Ready to reverse it. Lift for 1, lower 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Lift 3, 2, 1. Lift 3, 2. We do it 1 more time. Lift 3, 2, 1. Good job. Good job, glute. All right. The leg you were just working. If it was your right leg like mine, good. Stay with me. Ball goes behind your right hamstring for all 4. We continue the right leg work. So you can be elbows or hands, up to you, but your spine is long and you go where it feels best for you. Now you start with knee under hip, a full range, press to the ceiling without your spine changing shape, and then parallel legs. So full range, press and lower. Now tips for success. Flex your foot, it'll help you hold on to the ball. If the ball runs away, you can do all the moves without it. and toes tension free. Now, let's talk your standing leg. We're not collapsing into our standing hip. So put a little bit more weight into the arm diagonal from your standing leg. So you can do a kickstand arm. You can do a regular arm here on the ground, just with more weight in the opposite. But you press, core doesn't change. Press and lower for 4, 3, 2. In your next one, hold at the top. If you're doing 2 hands, it looks the same, by the way. Hold at the top, wherever that might be for you, shoulders down and back, and then small press. Press, press, without your spine changing shape for 4, 3, 2, hold, heel to booty, squeeze the ball, squeeze. Now, if the ball has run away or you decided not to use it because you hate it, you reach all the way out, drag your heel across the ceiling. So a hamstring curl, reach away, drag your heel across the ceiling. If you're still here with me, squeeze, squeeze, or if your ball hasn't run away, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep your thigh same spot in the air for 4, 3, 2, gently lower, ball to the side, side leg number 2. So we lay down here on the floor, and you already know and love, or your glute and outer thigh know and love what's about to happen. Core is engaging away from the floor below you, spine is long, chin off the chest, bottom knee, relax it. So now your left leg is your top leg, and then float it roughly hip height, reach your femur 1 more inch away from your hip socket. So notice how the hips, good. All right, you ready? I'm ready. We lift, we lower 1 small inch. Now, tension-free toes. Give the toes a wiggle. Make sure the knee isn't over gripping. So it's okay to have a soft knee the entire time. We're not here, though. No, your leg is still lengthening, reaching away from you. Core is engaging away from the floor below you, as well as in towards the spine, up towards the ribs. As always, top arm, hand to hip will tell you if you're wiggling. Kickstand hand in front of you will help stabilize. You can also do a seatbelt arm. This is another favorite of mine to know if you're rocking forward and back. So tiny lift and lower. Remember, tension-free knee. Don't let the knee drop towards the floor either. Parallel to the ground the entire time. So tiny floats up and down. Foot, it can point, it can flex, it can be somewhere in between, as long as it's not stressed. For 4, 3, 2. Are we ready for the circles? No, we're never ready, but you're doing them. Small circle forward, small controlled, without the hips wiggling. Keep core active. For 4, 3, 2. Reverse it. Remember, you're drawing it with your femur, not your toes, not your ankle. Femur and hip socket. One of my favorite phrases. Femur and hip socket. What's the other one? Shoulders away from ears. There's probably more. You'll let me know, I'm sure, in the comments. For 4, 3, 2, hold. Are you ready for the lift and lowers? Good. So you lift up 3, 2, 1, lower for 1 count. Oh, we flex our foot. That's right. Lift 3, 2, 1, lower for 1. Up, 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 and lower. Lift 3, 2, 1, and lower. Lift 3, 2, 1. You ready to reverse it? Excellent. Lift 1, lower 3, 2, 1. Lift for 1, lower 3, 2, 1. Lift for 1, lower 3, 2. Last set. 3, 2. All right, we got to do all fours with the ball behind our left leg now. So behind hamstring and calf, flex your foot. What that does is helps activate the back of your leg, helps the ball stay put. Some squishy balls, some pants just don't get along, and I understand that. We're ready. So we start with parallel legs, and you press and lower. You can be hands or elbows. What does it change? It changes the support for your lower back and your range of motion. Something to keep in mind. Without your spine changing shape, each time you lift, you activate the back of your leg, you resist and lower. We're trying not to drop into our standing hip bone, right? So we're not dropping to the side. So a little bit more weight in the arm on the ball side. For 4, 3, 2, in your next one, hold little lifts. So really find the glute line where hamstring and glute meet. Small press up, tiny, tiny, tiny. You have 4, 3, 2, hold the squeezes in an inch, draw your heel closer to your booty. Not necessarily popping the ball, just in an inch without your thigh moving in the air. How much hamstring are you getting? Is it on fire? Mine has joined it. For 4, 3, 2, last ones, and then gently, you can put the ball out, grab a little child's pose, sink the hips back. Awesome. Keep the ball, grab some hand weights. The ball comes mid-thigh, and now you can be low kneeling, high kneeling, somewhere in between, but we start with some triceps. So whichever height your hips are in, sink them back. They can even be so far back that you're sitting on them. And then core engages in and up. You are hinging forward here from your hip crease. Elbows, roll them back. Hold. Your chest is open. We're not rounding the upper back. You reach backwards. Elbows bent. Hands come right in front of your own hips in the air, not directly in front, of course. And then reach back without the wrist doing any extra kicks. So out, forward. Now, if you need to switch hand weights, you're welcome to. If you need to ditch hand weights, you're welcome to do so. If you do not like kneeling, you can do it from a standing squat-like position instead. If the ball runs away, don't worry about it. The ball is here to get a little inner thigh engagement and help remind you to engage your core. Keeping chest open, so we're not here, we're not a turtle, we're also not over rounding the lower back and bothering it. Reach for 4, 3, 2, in your next one, can you hold almost all the way out and then do a small press? Small reach, back an inch, so right here, back of the arm for 4, 3, 2, one more, and then allow the hands to come roughly under your shoulders. Take 1, reach it back. The other lifts almost by your ear, and then you switch. So the opposite movement. What are we doing? We are working our back, our tricep, our shoulders, a little bicep, but a lot of core. So we aren't twisting side to side. We're focusing on keeping your torso completely stable as the arms float in opposite direction. Also great brain exercise, isn't it? You only go as far as you can in each direction without your core popping, your rib cage popping. We're still in our forward fold. You switch and switch. We are here for 4, 3, 2, one more. Come back with both hands under the shoulders, row them back, opposite triceps. So 1 bends and then switch and switch and switch without coming too far forward. I know it's tempting to come all the way up to your shoulder. Don't do it. Switch and switch without twisting or rocking the torso, so keeping the core engaged. If you're here on your heels with your booty, less likely that you'll twist, right? So that's a great starting spot if you're having trouble with keeping the core stable and not twisting. But you reach and reach for 4. Your final move is coming up in 3, 2, 1 more set, and then reach both arms long. We hold. That's right. It's a final hold here without rounding, without collapsing. You hold for 4, 3, 2, gently release, hand weights out of the way, ball out of the way. Good. We have our final plank. Now, many options available. You are welcome to hold center in any type of plank if you need to. I'm on my hands for a windmill plank. So here is the full move. From a high plank, you float one arm. You draw a big semicircle. Actually, it's a full circle. So what's happening? I'm here in a side plank. My knees, my feet, my hips and shoulders have all twisted to face you. And then I circle my arm back down and I'm squared back to the floor below me. And on the other side. Good. So if this full windmill is not for you, your next option, water bottle, more of a bird dog style where you're floating opposite arm and leg and not worrying about height, but length. So that is an option from the hands. From the elbows, equal signs, and you can still do a version of the full windmill plank. Good, so whichever one you would like to do today, let's get into it. We do 8 total. So here we go. You twist, you're back to center. So remember, knees and toes must face the same direction as your hips and shoulders. Here's 4, back to center. 2 more. Here's your last side. Find center, gently lower. Send your hips back, long arms. You can do a nice shoulder roll down and back. Look side to side, little hand twirl. Thank you for coming to your workout. My name is Colleen, and I hope you enjoyed it. Check out my page for more mat-based workouts and subscribe below so you never miss them.